Present.
Trustee Reinders. Trustee Lepore. Trustee Muller. Trustee Scheller.
Present.
Trustee Holdhauser.
Present.
Mayor Nancy Sprayke.
Present. Do we need more chairs back there?
Bigger room.
Chairs is the whole room.
Okay, we're gonna move on to community recognition. Today, we are recognizing Austin Bilski, raising awareness and money for children and teens fighting cancer through his Cups for Cancer lemonade stand.
Austin Bilski started his Cups for Cancer lemonade stand in 2018 when he was 8 years old. His first year, he raised $110 and was so excited to bring all the public money to the Pediatric Oncology Children's Foundation that when he left, he asked to have the lemonade stand again. This time, he wanted to offer more than just lemonade. In 2019, Austin offered bottled water and a sugar-free lemonade in addition to regular lemonade, and he raised and donated $643.55 once again to the Pediatric Oncology Trust Foundation. Then in 2020, COVID hit and things were up in the air. Austin asked about doing lemonade stand again, and his parents were just unsure if it could happen. But after much thought, they decided that cancer doesn't stop with COVID, so Cups for Cancer wasn't stopping. Austin sat out there with his brothers for 2 days, and with a little extra help from his mom's social media posts, he raised and donated $1,981.58 to the Pediatric Oncology Treasure Chest Foundation. In 2021, Austin's mom was contacted by a local realtor in Lamont, Christine Wilchuk. She wanted to hear how Austin came up with the idea of Cups for Cancer, and she wanted to sponsor his next lemonade. Austin worked with their graphic designer to create a logo for the keepsake cups and t-shirts. Christine Realty Executives Elite got the donation ball rolling with a post on Facebook and Instagram. The post read, "Meet our friend Austin Bilski. Austin is an 11-year-old from Homer Glen with a heart of gold. Austin hosts an annual Cups for Cancer lemonade stand and donates 100% of his profits to the Pediatric Oncology Treasure Chest Foundation. During the last 4 years, Austin has raised over $3,000 for this wonderful organization. We are proud to announce that we are sponsoring Austin and his Cups for Cancer event this year. Our graphic artist is working with Austin on local design, custom cups, t-shirts, and marketing. We will surprise Austin and donate $1 for every like this post gets in the next 24 hours. So in 2021, Austin raised and donated $7,675 to the Pediatric Oncology Treasure Chest Foundation. The following year, 2022, the total was $6,765. In 2023, the Cups for Cancer lemonade stand hit the road, so to speak, and set up in May at the Lockport Township High School quarter baseball strikeout cancer event. Cups for Cancer raised and donated $1,100 to the CC2 Forever Foundation in honor of Connor Christian, former LTHS graduate and baseball player. Then in July, Cups for Cancer raised and donated $8,000.52 to the Pediatric Oncology Treasure Chest Foundation. The final donation of $500 for 2023 was raised during October when the Homer Stallions hosted their Gold Up game and this one to Hells Angels. 2024, once again, set up at the LTHS Strikeout Cancer and raised and donated $200 to CC2 Forever Foundation. In July 2024, Austin he had set a big goal of wanting to surpass the amount raised from the previous year. And he also talked about retiring the Cups for Cancer lemonade stand because he felt he was kind of getting too old for it. He was just a few bucks off from his goal that year. The amount raised and donated in 2024 was $7,951. And that comes up to $34,917.65. Austin and his family had a few chats and decided that they wanted to show support for Dylan. Cups for Cancer was not Thus making Austin $83 short of his $50,000 ultimate goal. Way to go, Austin. Way to go, Austin.
Austin, if I hear that right, you're just $83 short of your $50,000 goal.
Seriously.
I'm sure we can find you that $83. Great job. We're going to present you with a flag. All right, here you go. Where did he go? Did he leave already? Oh, look at that. Rose just gave him his tomato skull. Thank you, trustee Reinders. I'll give that to you later. Okay, next recognition is plastic-free competition. Taylor?
All right, thank you. Okay, so the Village of Homer Glen Environment Committee held a plastic-free July competition to raise awareness for the growing plastic waste problem. We asked our Homer Glen residents to submit their tips and tricks for reducing single-use plastics for a chance to win gift cards to our local restaurants. I will call up our winners, and if you are here, please come up for your prize and for a quick photo with the mayor. All right, so our first winner is Isadora with a $200 gift certificate to Taza. Isadora submitted several helpful ideas and resources, including information on Meyer's plant pot recycling program, pet food bag recycling at Pet Supplies Plus, and tons of recycled and plastic-free packaged products. Thank you, Isadora. Okay, so we have two other winners. I don't believe they were able to make it tonight, but our second winner was Amy with a $150 gift certificate to the Phoenix for submitting all of her uses of mason jars or repurposed pickle jars as an alternative to single-use plastic yogurt cups, water bottles, and food storage. So thank you, Amy. And Lynn is our last winner with a $100 gift certificate to Blueberry Hill for sharing her recipe for homemade all-purpose cleaning concentrate. Her recipe is a great alternative to plastic packaged store containers that often use harsh chemicals, and is a great way to use up your garden's leftover lemon thyme and leftover citrus peels. So on behalf of the Environment Committee, we want to thank all of our winners for their participation. These great ideas, recipes, and products can be found on the Village of Homer Glen Environment Committee Facebook page. We love to hear all of the ways that our residents, we love to hear all the ways that our residents support the Environment Committee's initiatives. So I want to remind you all that we are still accepting nominations for our Community Nature and Harmony Awards and our Big Tree Awards. I left a few of these nomination forms up by public comments, along with a QR code linked to our Facebook page and our Village of Homer Glen Environment Committee website. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Taylor. Next is amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments?
I have a few.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to amend L6 for the proper wording. You want that wording now?
Sure.
Is there a motion to approve an ordinance implementing both the municipal grocery retailer's occupation tax and the municipal grocery service occupation tax in accordance with section 811-24 of the Illinois Municipal Code? That would be the first amendment. The next one is to move L9 to new business. And the last one is to remove L10 from the agenda for now.
That was it?
That's it.
Is there a second?
I'll make that second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Hohenhauser.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Hohenhauser.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve April 16, 2025 Joint Environment Committee and Committee of the Whole?
I'll make, go ahead. And I'll second.
Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number two, July 14th, 2025 Special Village Board Meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to public comments, please remember to keep your comments to 3 minutes, since it looks like we have a full room. All right, first up, forgive me if I don't say your last name right, Joy Biwauer. Just make sure your button's on. Make sure the button's green in front of you.
It is. Thank you very much. Good evening. My name is Joy Biwauer. Thank you for the privilege to express my experience as an employee at Bengtsons Pumpkin Farm. I began my employment while working for Homer 33 schools to earn some extra money after work for Christmas shopping, and I began that career at Bengtsons in 2005. Bengtsons Farm is not just a group of employees. We are a tight-knit group, family of people who enjoy working together. I've been retired for 6 years now from my full-time job, and I've been able to maintain my skills by working in the office at Bengtsons. I have made so many friends over the years here on the farm. My 2 daughters have worked here with me in recent years, and many of our employees have had the privilege of working with their own siblings and also parents. Working in the office, I get to hear customers' experience every day over the years. They tell me all about visiting with their children and now visiting with their grandchildren, as I do too. As I peer out the window from my desk, I see many generations of customers who make a point of planning a family visit to our farm from places as far as London, England. That really puts Homer Glen, Illinois, on the global map. And then there's Tilly, a little 11-year-old paraplegic girl who has got such a sweet story that I have to share tonight. She's been visiting our farm for about 5 years now. Her mom and dad, along with Tilly, have stopped by the office every visit just to say hi to me. They live about an hour away on the north side of Chicago. Tilly communicates non-verbally due to her birth defect challenges. They visit us several times, both in the summer and fall. Tilly's mom has told me that our farm is the only place where she smiles and enjoys the rides and attractions. When Tilly has done well at her school, Mom asks her, "What would you like for a reward?" Tilly always asks to spend the day here at Bengtsons Farm. My heart melted this last summer as Tilly gave me the biggest smile when I asked her how she enjoyed her visit. That's never happened in the past. I believe Homer Glen is a great community due to the fact that so many people visit our farm and learn about what we have to offer here at Homer Glen.
30 seconds.
It can not only showcase our farm, but also the fine homes that are surrounding it and the businesses in Homer Glen that get a lot of business from our customers. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Aaron Dracatis. Are you on the agenda tonight?
Yes,
Do you want to hold your comments till the agenda item comes up?
I can. I was just available to answer any questions if you have one.
Yeah, we'll get that to when we talk about it. All right, thank you. Jennifer Consolino.
Good evening. First, I would like to address tonight that there is an open ground utility box at the southwest corner of Rosary and 151st Street. Sent an email to the village manager a month ago with no response. This open utility box is deep, has water in it, and is a danger to the residents, children, and pets from Farmview subdivision. I ask that the village staff please address it immediately, as they have been cutting the lawn around the circumference of the utility box and is on village easement. Second, I would like to state that as a former trustee, I do not support tonight's legislative item number 6 to reintroduce a 1% grocery tax. I'm well aware of what the Village of Homer Glen Reserve is. I'm also well aware that the revenue generated from the grocery tax is less than the amount this board purchased vacant land for last year at $850,000. By not making unnecessary purchases, the village can easily afford to lessen the tax burden on our residents for another year or two. People in Homer Glen still cannot afford the groceries they need. Seniors in Homer Glen still cannot afford their groceries. Why does this even have to be said out loud in public comment? Third, I would like to address the email I submitted to village staff and trustees on Monday. I'm appalled that all information regarding L7 through L10 were left out of the village board meeting packet for public view. I would hope it was included in the trustee packets at least. Either way, discussion or voting on legislative items without properly informing the public demonstrates a lack of ethics and transparency. In doing further research to agenda item 7, it appears that you are looking to amend Village Code 837G, prohibited acts and conditions. G refers to nudity. Consider for approval an ordinance amending Chapter 8374G of the Village Code to permit limited entertainment upon or within a premises licensed to sell alcohol, subject to the village review, approval, and issuance of a special event permit. G, nudity. Following conduct on premises licensed to sell alcoholic liquor is prohibited. Public indecency. Any person who performs any of the following acts in a public place commits public indecency. An act of sexual penetration or sexual conduct as defined in 720 ILS 5-11, or a lewd exposure of the body done with the intent to arouse or to satisfy the sexual desire of that person or another person. I would hope that you would want all of our residents' input if you're considering allowing to let our local businesses have nudity on the premises. I don't want it. Every single neighbor I know doesn't want it. Who the hell do you people know who wants this kind of debauchery in the proximity to their children and to their homes? This is not the kind of activity families want permitted in Homer Glen. This is not Chicago Heights lined with strip clubs, even though Paul O'Grady would like it to be. And this is a rural farm-friendly and family-friendly community, not Dalton. Word to the wise. Make informed decisions, inform your public. Your votes have serious consequences for yourselves and for your 25,000 residents.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Scott Bengston. My father Dane and I are the owners of Bengtsons Farm. The Bengtson family has been part of Homer for 6 generations. The Bengtsons Farm has been around since 1981. This season will be our 45th season in business. Last year, we decided to do a Summerfest at the farm. We came in and met with the village manager, Joe Baber, and village president, Christina, to go over the details. Both agreed that summer operations fell within our current PUD, which they agreed had no date restrictions. We made substantial investments based on this, including hiring of additional full-time employees, purchasing of ice cream and slushie machines, shade structures for hot days, raised landscape beds, signed multi-year contracts on things such as advertising and more. We opened last year and ran through summer without hearing any issues from the village. An email received in a FOIA request from Joe Baber to the mayor, clerk, and village trustees states the following. The mayor and I met with Scott and Dan Bengtson regarding their plans to hold Bengtsons Summerfest on weekends only. This would be similar to their fall event, June 14th through August 4th, between the hours of 11 to 7, except without the pumpkins. Their PUD does allow for this, as there are no restrictions on dates. This year, we're called into a meeting, and we're told that Summerfest might not be allowed, and it might only be granted year by year if we fill out a special event permit, which was not the requirement last year, as summer is covered under the current PUD. When asked why the complete reversal from last year, we really weren't given any answers other than some neighbor complaints, some of which aren't even current but recycled from comments made by neighbors during our 2020 PUD amendment, which were resolved years ago. For the current complaints, we have some ideas to address the concerns, but the village does not seem interested. Instead, they insist we fill out special event permits so they can grant us year-by-year permission on whether we can operate our business or not. This is not a way to run a business. We can't make long-term investments where we must get year-by-year permission to operate. We've made huge investments here at Homer, and they were made on the understanding that this PUD covered operations with no restrictions on dates. We reached out to some neighbors and found out that their concerns did not exactly line up with what the village has claimed, and that the village has begun using this to lean on to push their new agenda. Now, I have an email from Casey in the building department from last year that confirms that they came out July 9th, 2024, did occupancy inspections and a village walkthrough, specifically mentioning that we're due to Summerfest. This year we ran the same festival, and Casey has given us a violation for operating without a special event permit, leading to our building permits for fall improvements being put on hold with no resolution in sight, which we feel is being done intentionally to harm our business.
30 seconds.
I want to point out that these permits are for a ride foundation that is the same as one that was approved and installed after last year's Summerfest, and a small pavilion that is a duplicate to one that has already been granted earlier this very year. Now we've been informed that these may not fit in the PUD. I recently sent in some FOIAs and received some very concerning emails from village officials, especially the village president, Christina herself. She has informed the neighbor that we installed our swing ride without consent, even though we have extensive discussions and meetings about this swing ride. Susan will take over.
If you need additional 3 minutes, the board can vote to give you additional 3 minutes. Are you requesting additional 3 minutes?
Yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll second.
All in favor? Go ahead.
She has informed the neighbors that we installed our swing ride without consent, even though we have had extensive discussions and a meeting about this ride with the village before its installation. She states that she was unaware of the number of rides, and that will be addressed as well. What is interesting is, as rides have always been a part of this business since, which is interesting, as rides have been a part of this business since 1999, since before the village was even established. They've also done inspections and walkthroughs of the property every year. They are well aware of all the rides and always have been in the loop on them. How does a village treat a business like this suddenly? I have to point out that the village president, Christina, has a long-standing ties to the only competing business in town, and after looking into it, there seems to be many issues in their PUD versus the way they actually operate. To my understanding, they must pull special event permits for multiple events they have, and after a FOIA of all the special event permits that have been pulled in the village from 2017 until now, I see they have not been following these rules. They should be well aware that she was the general manager of that business and still admits to being tied to it. Keep in mind, this is happening while she is trustee, then village clerk, and now village president. So let me ask, why are we being fined for something that is allowed under our existing PUD while the business she has long-standing ties to adds up violations without any consequences? And just so we're clear, that business is Homes.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lindsay Hecker, and I am one of the full-time employees at Bengtsons Farm in the village of Homer Glen. Bengtsons was my first job in high school, and I continued working seasonally through graduate school. After starting a career in education, I quickly jumped at the opportunity to join a family-owned and operated business, something Mayor Christina may relate to from her time at Conos. In my role at the farm, I hire and manage our seasonal staff, which includes teenagers gaining their first work experience, to retirees staying active, and everyone in between. I take pride in fostering a supportive environment where our diverse team can learn, grow, and contribute to the farm's vibrant community spirit. Recently, Bengtsons Farm has faced significant challenges due to actions from the village of Homer Glen that threaten the ability to operate. Despite our long-standing presence as a cherished local institution, the village is working behind the scenes in an effort to make Bengtsons fail. These actions jeopardize not only the business, but also the joy and memories we provide to countless families each year and the income provided to our seasonal staff. Bengtsons is more than just a workplace. It brings joy to countless families year after year through our festivals and family-friendly activities that create lasting memories. It's truly unique in our area and a cornerstone of what makes Homer Glen a wonderful place.
Hi, my name is Susan Alley. I've lived in Homer Glen since 1990, raised 2 sons here and 1 resides in Homer. I brought my children to the Bengtsons Farm when I lived in Calumet City. And I came here and I said, I just love this farm. It's so nice. I said, I want to live here one day because it seems like a very nice community, and it is. But I'm kind of disappointed because I don't understand how anybody can treat any business the way they're being treated. They're very nice people. That's why I'm here today. You know, really consider what you guys are doing. Thank you. Thank you.
I am a resident of Lamont, right next door to Homer Glen. Back in 2021, I had a cat that needed a lot of extra medical care, so I got a part-time job at Bengtsons in the fall. And I continue to go back. This will be my 4th fall here. Do I need to earn the money there? Not as much, but I really enjoy working there. They're like a family. I mean, look at all these people that showed up today just for one little pumpkin farm. I'm a pumpkin launcher. I also operate work at the Tipsy Cow Cavern, and I also work in the mining department. Getting the email today about what is going on was absolutely horrible. I just can't understand, like others have said, why would you want to do this to a business that's done so many good things to the village? And I have an extra tie to the village now. I am a substitute teacher of special education kids in the Homer Glen School District. So imagining all of the kids that I see on a day-to-day basis in the school year, whether they be the regular, the mainstream kids or the special education kids, what are we supposed to tell them when the pumpkin farm is no more? How are we supposed to explain them that's just adults acting like ignorant and not polite to others? So definitely please reconsider, and look forward to many more years working at Bengtsons. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is John Zutant. I live here in Homer Glen since '93. I too would like to express the sentiment of many of the workers that work at Bengtsons Farm. I brought my children out here years ago when it was a small farm from Chicago. When my children worked at Bengtsons Farm through high school. I decided to get a job there after I retired. This company, Bengtsons Farm, is a family-owned business. They pay taxes here in Homer Glen, just like anybody else. Sort of close you down here, and this board is looking at opening up a new bank. Do we need a bank? We need businesses. And Bengtsons is here. And to grow, you have to improve to grow and stay constant. It is one business. Like, people come from all over the state. They come from Indiana. They come from Florida, Iowa. And that's bringing in revenue. They buy gas. They stop at the restaurants. Please continue to let Bengtsons operate at their level.
I apologize, this is, I cannot read this name. On Meadowcrest Drive? Or regarding the, looks like home care? Did you want to come up and speak? No? Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, okay. Did you want to speak when you're on the agenda? No? Okay. Sam and Gary Strock, you're on the agenda too. You want to wait? Yeah. Okay. Christy Nasser.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm a little late to the party. I'm Christy Nasser. I own Bengtsons Farm. I do want to say, because I didn't realize that this was as much as what's going to go on with Bengtsons, and I'm glad to see their support of them. You know, Glen is unique for open space. I have 31 acres. Bengtsons Farm, everybody knows that we're fighting for to keep it a rural community. And Bengtsons is so incredibly unique. I talk to people from all over that come to enjoy Bengtsons. And the people that they employ, and as the gentleman just said too, not only do the people spend money at Bengtsons with their families and relatives and friends, but these people will spread out. I have people that come to my farm and they'll pull in and say, yeah, we're just so inspired by animals and open space. We love it. Can we see your animals? So I bring them in and I show them all my animals. So I think Bengtsons should be cherished for its uniqueness. It's wonderful for the community. The people that work there are just wonderful. I was originally going to come up here and say one more thing because I'm going to start being the needle in your spines about the fireworks. So that's all I want to say right now. We need to tone down the fireworks because of animals in the area. Bengtsons has them too, but we'll be seeing you guys from the next meeting for that. Thank you.
I apologize, I skipped you. You weren't on the line. Are you there?
I'm John Walters, been in Homer Glen since 2002. Here to talk about L6, taxes, raising taxes is the easiest and laziest thing you guys can do. As trustees, I would like to see a little more discussion instead of just a motion and a second and a yes vote. I would like to see discussions on some of these things between you guys. Get out your pencils, get out your erasers, get out your calculators, and cut some costs. Cut the waste. No more new taxes. And as far as L7, it already says that it eliminates nudity and stuff. So I don't know what you guys are trying to change. Are you trying to allow adult entertainment to be here in Homer Glen? No. Because nobody wants it. We can go somewhere else if somebody wants that. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. And then there's just the name of Chuck.
That was a mistake.
Oh, okay. All right. So that is it for public comments. All right. Next, we're going to move on to reports and communications from the president and other officers. Joe Weaver.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First off, I'd like to commend our parks, events, and EMA departments in their efforts with a Fire and Ice event that was put on last Thursday here in the Heritage Park. The Illinois Landscape Professionals Association was very appreciative and thanked the village of Homer Glen. They gave us a beautiful appreciation plaque that was given out to me and some of our staff at the conclusion of the event. I know there was some concerns regarding any damage to the park, but if you go out there, you can barely tell that anything ever occurred out there. A number of businesses are going to experience a scheduled electrical outing next week in the vicinity of 143rd Mill Road. These businesses have already been notified that the outages will occur between the hours of 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. This is all due to an ongoing construction in the area. And also, we are in the process of updating our off-road vehicle ordinance to include e-bikes, e-scooters, and the like. Use of these devices has become out of control in the community and have created numerous dangerous situations. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to the trustees. Trustee Holzhauser? I know you're brand new, so
yeah, I would just like to thank the residents of Homer Glen, fellow board members, and the mayor to allow me the opportunity to serve Homer Glen on the village board. Also, congrats to Austin Bilski. Had a great job with the company.
Thank you. Trustee LaPorte?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First off, welcome, Trustee Holzhauser. I'd like to first off talking a lot of positive action coming out of the Economic Development Committee. We're currently working on a promotional flyer featuring local businesses. We are looking and hoping to partner with our local pumpkin farms and distribute flyers to the patrons of these establishments. Give local dining and business options to many that come from all over the state of Illinois and further to visit our town. We hope to deliver an economic boon to our local business community. The flyers will be ready for distribution in mid-September throughout October. A special thank you to Janie Patch and the entire economic development team for the efforts. There will be more to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Mason?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome, Trustee Holzhauser, and congratulations, Candace and Austin. We had our public safety meeting on August 6th. During that time, we covered several topics, including cameras being erected in the village for the residents' safety and enhanced security within the village. Cameras are becoming increasingly a vital tool for public service and safety agencies to secure, deter crime, and improve operational efficiency. Here is how some of the cameras are being used in public services and safety, especially in the surrounding villages and towns near us. I've had some time to do some research since our meeting. One way is deterring crime. The visible presence of cameras in public areas and designated hotspots can significantly discourage criminal activity like theft, vandalism, and assault. Another is aid in investigations. Cameras provide valuable evidence, including identifying suspects, reconstruction of events, and helping to secure convictions. High-quality footage from surveillance can capture crucial details like the license plate number and facial features. It also can improve situational awareness. Real-time camera feeds provide immediate information to first responders, along with faster response times and more effective coordination during emergencies. Enhancing public confidence. Physical cameras being installed can increase the public spaces, encourage community activity, and foster trust in law enforcement. Cameras are even used in monitoring crowd control, no different than an event like Homer Fest. The type of camera systems that we need in the village are ANPRs, or automatic number plate recognition, and or LPRs, better known as license plate recognition cameras. So we in the Public Service and Safety Committee during our meeting agreed to unanimously bring this in front of the village for a vote at a later date. Another topic that has come to my attention over the weekend, and it's happened time and time again, is ATVs, side-by-sides, and dirt bikes. Over the weekend, I was notified multiple times about persons utilizing the new portion of Harold's Trail as their own personal dirt track. I was sent multiple videos, and I watched as residents walking their dogs or out for a stroll had to move off the trail to accommodate these vehicles. Our ordinance officer has been diligent in his efforts to write citations. He wrote one on Friday, another on Monday. He has been visibly active on the trail all week. However, it has become time to possibly regulate the use of these dirt bikes and ATVs and side-by-sides to hold the parents accountable. Also, a side note, some of these photos that we're taking and videos that were shown were that of the parents themselves riding the vehicles. Many states and local laws already hold parents responsible for their children's misuse of these vehicles. Here is how that can play out. We can initiate an ordinance that holds these parents responsible for the damages or injuries caused by their children's actions. This could mean parents are liable for the accidents or recklessness of operation of such a vehicle. Other factors could be child endangerment charges if a parent fails to follow the laws regarding their children's use and activities. We should have a minimum age of operation, unless it is on private property, of course, and maybe that limited age is 16. We can add safety measures such as helmet, require safety supervision by the parents, train and safety certifications. The parents if we hold the parents responsible for letting their children ride in unsafe conditions without proper supervision, it would be crucial for the parents to be aware and adhere to these specific laws and regulations, and failure to do so would have serious legal consequences for both the children and the parent, and this could include confiscation of the vehicle itself. I would like to end on a positive note. With that being said, thus I want to report that our EMA department, our emergency management, specifically Ron Cuss, our village has received a letter extending their sincere gratitude for Ron's actions and support for his involvement on July 2nd regarding a missing persons. This transpired in the village of Elwood. On that day, drones were deployed, K-9 units, search and rescue teams. Ron played a crucial role in the successful conclusion. Despite the rugged terrain, the extreme heat, and the hours of operation, we came to a happy ending. The reason this is even more special is due to the fact that this person was elderly and had Alzheimer's. The village of Elwood is very happy that he was located on that very hot day. Elwood sends their heartfelt appreciation and sincere gratitude for your timely efforts and your professional demeanor during this collaborative effort, and pledges to reciprocate to Homer Glen whenever called upon. This is because of your support that day, Ron, and so we, the village board, would also like to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Trustee Reinders.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting for the Park Committee. I would just like to thank everybody that came out today to the ribbon cutting of the Old Oak Park on Old Park Avenue. Our committee worked so hard and our staff worked so hard to put this together. It was definitely, when they say it takes a village, it takes a village. And finally, we have a park in an area that needed one so desperately. Just a friendly reminder that on August 18th, the Parks Committee will kick off the first phase of changes coming to Heritage Park. We will be meeting with Lakota Group to discuss the engineering for the Veterans Memorial, a pavilion, and the water feature in Heritage Park. It's an open meeting, so we invite everyone. You're welcome to come and join us and see what the future plans of the Veterans Memorial and the water feature are. I would also like to address some issues that have recently been brought to my attention regarding items on our consent agenda. I don't know if the residents are aware, but I'm sorry. I don't know if the residents are aware, but all of the items on the consent agenda are reviewed in the Admin and Finance Committee, of which I chair. I recall last year, we had several trustees that wanted to bring Admin and Finance back as a committee because we were spending so many hours on this board discussing matters. So what happens in the Admin and Finance Committee is every one of those items on that consent agenda are discussed at length. And it's not only discussed with one trustee, but it's discussed with 4 trustees, with the village manager and with all the department heads. So everybody is there and all of those issues are discussed. So when you say that we're not discussing or we're not we don't have enough discussion, I don't know how we could have any more discussion. I mean, we take 2 to 3 hours of our time to sit and discuss these items. So, and if it's something that we feel needs more discussion, then we bring it back to the board level. So I think it's pretty unfair to would just like to say, you know, it does shorten our board meetings, but if there's an issue that you have, please don't discuss it on social media. Feel free to give one of us, send us an email, give us a call. All of our numbers are on there. We'd be happy to discuss issues with you. That's all I have here.
Thank you. When are your admin and finance meetings? So if they want to.
Admin and finance are the first Wednesday of the month. They're at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Trustee Miller?
Thank you, Mayor, and again, welcome, Trustee Holzhauer. Briefly touching on the public safety meeting. Again, just so everybody knows, school is a week away now. There's going to be kids on bus stops that are normally standing on corners. Buses come really early, it's still dark out for some of them. We're in school buses, we're going to have kids on bikes, we're going to have kids walking, and everybody's faces are in their phones, whether it be the kids walking or the drivers. Everybody, especially in the next few weeks, pay extra close attention to everybody out and about in school, getting back in session. And also stepping up on what Trustee Mason said about the types of tools available to law enforcement with the cameras. Again, don't start the social media, the gossip. It's not Big Brother watching every move you make. There are certain criteria that have to be included to even look at them. I mean, more than happy to talk to anybody who has any questions about it.
Thank you. Trustee Schaller?
Thank you, Mayor. I too have been enjoying on the Ron Cuss bandwagon of doing great work. Ron and Casey, with a code enforcement issue that was long and ongoing, and it came to fruition and end, and it was great work by Joe and your team. I'd like to thank everybody that was involved. Also, last weekend I was invited to the Sabo residence for the Conservation Foundation. It was an open house at their residence. The Conservation Foundation is a private, non-for-profit, 501c3 organization that's dedicated to preserving natural areas and wildlife habitats and restoring water quality throughout Illinois. They're a great organization, very informative. It was a great afternoon there. I urge everyone to look the Conservation Foundation up at their website, theconservationfoundation.org. It's something that if you're in a homeowners association, like worthy of joining and having them come out and look at your property and see what you can do to further preserve natural areas. So that's all I got.
Thank you. Village Clerk? No report. Village Attorney?
Yes, briefly, just a real quick update on Illinois American Water. The Village of Homer Glen has been invited by the Illinois Attorney General to participate in a conference call with IAW on August 28th. We view this as a positive step in the right direction to assist the residents in collaborating with IAW and hopefully bring a resolution to the matters that were addressed and that were noted in the survey that had gone out and that was posted on our website. So that's a very, very positive development. Secondly, just want to briefly touch on one of the agenda items. I was away on vacation, on much needed family vacation for a little bit more than a week. So there were a couple of ordinances that did not make it to the actual packet. Per the Open Meetings Act, the agenda is what is required to list with reasonable particularity the topics that the board is going to discuss. So all the agenda items were properly noted and listed on the agenda. However, unfortunately, because I was gone, some of the actual physical ordinances didn't make it. So I just wanted to make it very, very clear to the public that there was no concerted activity here by the board of trustees, or the president, or anyone here to somehow hide what was going on. It was simply just a communication issue that occurred due in part, obviously due to my absence being away from Europe. So, excuse me. Lastly, there's just to allay any concerns about actual physical nudity being allowed. That's completely not accurate. The limited exception that's provided for in that amendment to the particular provision of the code would not allow for nudity in this village. So just want to clarify those things so that everybody understands why certain ordinances were not listed on the website, and just to allay any concerns that public may have about nudity being authorized in this village. That's completely inaccurate. That's not happening. The ordinance does not allow that. Thank you.
Thank you. Public safety officials?
Good evening. I'll keep it brief. I just want to let you guys know that I spoke with Sergeant Openmeyer with Will County Investigations. He agreed to come out 2 weeks from today, the next board meeting, to go and answer any questions you guys may have for Block in depth. He's very familiar with the system, and he's one of the ones that I would go to in a heartbeat. So he will be here in 2 weeks, and if there's anything else you guys would require of me, just let me know and I'll take care of it.
Thank you. Okay, last is me. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, since you guys, that's why you guys all came here, Bengtsons. So, I'm unsure what email you guys received, but I heard twice tonight in the comments that Bengtsons was being shut down. I want to address that concern up front. Bengtsons is not being shut down. The pumpkin farm is not being shut down. I don't know where that came from, but I want to make sure that everybody understands that. There were some accusations about me working at a competitor. If you remember correctly, when this village in 2015 had an argument, and not this board obviously, but that mayor at that time was trying to take over the property where Bengtsons was renting. And if you remember correctly, I stuck up for you guys and led the charge to help you guys get that property and stay as Bengtsons. There's not a person in this room that doesn't want you guys to succeed or continue on. We all love Bengtsons here. We've all visited there. I don't know where any of those rumors are coming from. Yes, I do work at Konos, who we never visualize as a competitor. We're two completely different places. But there is protocol. And what we have to understand is there's a thing called a PUD, it's Plan Use Development. In your PUD, or in a PUD, it says what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. There's nobody on this board that would not allow or agree to have an expansion of time that your PUD allows. As I said, there's protocol. To make that happen, a special event permit is required. That's all the board was asking, was for a special event permit to be allowed. And we've met, yes, we have. We met with attorneys, and the attorneys agreed that was what was needed, and it was refused to do so. So here we are where we're at, and we all want you to continue on. We all want to let you succeed. Ma'am, I let you guys speak, and nobody's lying here. Your PUD says that you're allowed to operate in 12 months. If you want to expand, you have two choices. You can either come in and have your PUD changed, or you could apply for a special event permit. Nobody on this board was opposed to either one or the other. It's just protocol. Because if we were just to allow every business to do whatever they wanted, the village would be running in chaos. No, ma'am. So with that also being said, we have, what else do we have here? PUD. What else? 143rd, we forgot to mention 143rd Street. We do have a meeting with the county executive, Jennifer Tino-Tarrant, and her staff to discuss 143rd expansion as well, which hopefully we're going to continue to stop. Okay, we're going to move on to the agenda now. Consent agenda. Number 1, consider for approval accounts payable for the period of July 26, 2025 through August 14, 2025 in the amount of $338,536.60. 2, consider for approval of the quotes from Bengtsons and Spring Road Nursery for the installation and purchase of parkway trees for the 2025 Fall Tree Planting Program in the amount of $33,450. Number 3, consider for approval of payment for the Village of Homer Glen's June legal bills from Peterson, Johnson, and Murray in the amount of $13,673.50. 4, consider for approval the payment of an invoice for Phase 1 of the curb and sidewalk replacement program in the amount of $173,476.25. And number 5, consider for approval the purchase of a John Deere 5090E mowing tractor for public works in the amount of $49,864.61. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Mason, is there a second?
A second.
Trustee Lepore. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Shaller.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders. Aye. Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Trustee Holhauser.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, now moving on to L1, legislation and action items. Consider for approval of reimbursement grant award under the Commercial Building Improvement Grant Program to Lennar Management, owner of Galaxy Plaza, for the eligible improvements at 14310 South Wilbrook Road in the amount of $5,326.80. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Lepore?
I'll second.
Trustee Mason? Trustee Lepore?
Yeah, I just want to point out that this is a grant program that's run through the Economic Development Committee. I would encourage all businesses local to look into this grant. It's a great opportunity to modernize and do certain improvements to your business that will help you along the way. And the village is there to try to help you stay in the village and also expand and bring the businesses here. If you have any questions regarding this program, please reach out to myself or J.D. Hatch. We'd love to talk to more businesses regarding this grant, and it's a wonderful opportunity for establishments. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Mason?
I agree with Trustee Lepore. It's a good, perfect opportunity for people who are trying to do improvements. As I think people don't believe, we do want businesses here. We've done this in the past. We did this just recently on Bell Road with some businesses. I don't see why we wouldn't do it. I think this board's pro-business, and I'm for it.
Thank you. Trustee Reinders?
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, yeah, I've worked with Danny in the past with this grant program, and we've had several businesses in Homer Glen that have taken advantage of it. Unfortunately, some of the landlords don't upkeep their buildings, and it's up to the tenants to do that. So a lot of the tenants have taken advantage of this program. So it's a great program. I'm all for it.
Thank you. Trustee Muller?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, whether you're starting a small business or running one, everything gets more and more expensive as time goes on. This is just a great way to either make the businesses look better, help them function a little bit better, and just call around and let them know we have their backs.
Trustee Shaller?
Again, this is a excellent program. The one thing I will say is that there is a way that we can possibly push this out through social media. We have to keep encouraging businesses in town to take advantage of this.
I like that idea. Trustee Holzhauser?
No, I agree with the board sentiment. Great program, and I hope all businesses take advantage of it.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Shaller.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders. Aye. Trustee Muller. Trustee Holhauser.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 2, consider for approval of landscape plan for a 2,277 square foot detached accessory structure to satisfy the condition of approval for 13506 West 167th Street, case HD 2506B. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Mason, is there a second? Trustee Shaller? Is the petitioner here?
Yes.
Did you want to step up to the podium? No, okay, you're good. All right. Trustee Mason, go ahead.
I really don't have any questions. We've been through this March 6th, March 26th, July 23rd, and again today. It looks, according to the packet here, that he's adhered to everything that we had asked for under the condition. So I'm in favor, and I think we can move forward.
Trustee Shaller?
I agree with Trustee Mason.
Trustee Holzhauser?
I agree. They provided everything we asked for, and we approved it previously, so move forward.
Trustee Lepore?
No objections, thank you.
Trustee Reinders?
I just have one question as to why they're not putting any landscaping on the west side of the garage.
Well, the petitioner is here. Did you want to answer that question? Sorry. I don't think we requested it.
Correct.
We did.
We requested landscaping plans.
Originally, that was mentioned in 6, and we had.
If you could talk in the microphone, thank you.
Correct, it was
requested a landscaping plan, which is there, and this is what we were told by the previous board.
Yeah.
What we're doing.
So it's either, we weren't specific to say on east, west, north, south. We just requested a
Here
plan.
now?
The west side, it's all tree line.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
You good?
Okay.
Okay.
Not to interrupt, when I visited the property, that's what I remember. It was the west side of the property was done, and we were concerned with the south-facing side, which is where the public would be able to look into your yard.
Correct.
Okay. Trustee Muller?
Nope, the owners did everything we asked, and it looks good.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Scheller.
Aye.
Trustee Holthauser.
Aye.
Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, number 3, consider for approval an ordinance granting 1, variance to permit an in-ground pool and pool patio as an obstruction in the front yard. 2, a variance to reduce the required front yard setback for the in-ground pool and patio from a non-dedicated right-of-way from 80 feet to 53 feet. And 3, a variance to reduce the required side yard setback for the in-ground pool from 20 feet to 14 feet for certain real property located in the R2 Single Family Residential Zoning District at 12258 West Rambling Road, Homer Glen, Illinois, HG 2521-B. Is there a motion? Trustee Reinders and Trustee Mason. Trustee Reinders.
I went through this here, and actually, you know, when you look at this, their septic system is taking up all of their yard, so they cannot put a pool in. And they do have an actual space on the other side where it wouldn't affect the septic system. So I don't have any problem with them setting the pool there.
Trustee Mason.
Trustee Reinders covered one on top. He said I was going to state, but the septic field is there, no different than the gentleman that just left. He's kind of has a hardship situation here. The impervious covered. Our ordinance asks for 30%. He's asking for 13%, so I don't have an issue.
Trustee Muller.
No, it's been covered. The septic is really limiting the whole thing to either pool, and it's a big lot. The neighbors have comments in here and they're in favor of it, so I have absolutely no problems.
Trustee Scheller.
I have no problem with it, and I will say that I do appreciate the letters of support that's actually from one of our neighbors.
Trustee Holthauser.
No objection.
Trustee Lepore.
I had the pleasure of attending the planning commission meeting on July 17th, and I concur with the planning commission's recommendation to approve this plan. I'm very familiar with Rambling Road. I have a best friend from high school who grew up over there, and it's a beautiful area, and I think the way they plan this pool will be just fine. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Reinders. Aye. Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Holthauser.
Aye.
Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Scheller.
Motion carries. Number 4, consider for approval an ordinance granting 1, a variance to permit a multi-tenant sign for 7 tenant panels where no more than 6 are permitted, and 2, a variance to permit a ground sign as an obstruction in the required clear vision triangular area for certain real property located in the C1 Neighborhood Commercial Zoning District, the common address 14322 South Golden Oak Drive, Homer Glen, Illinois, HG 2520B with the following condition. 1, the applicant shall strike 2 handicap parking stalls per ADA requirements that are 11 feet wide with a 5-foot loading space. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Lepore?
I'll second.
Trustee Reinders. Trustee Lepore?
Yes, I'm very familiar with this property. I know the landlord very well, Wally Fisher. He was scheduled to be here, unfortunately, had back surgery this week, and he was unable to attend. I do have a business interest in one of these locations inside that strip mall, so I will be abstaining on both. I will say this, the landlord's a great guy. He has done much improvements to this property, and I feel what he is planning on doing here will not only improve the property, but will make a lot of sense for all businesses involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Reinders?
I agree with Trustee Lepore on this one. They made some great improvements over there. The plaza looks great. And I actually frequent the plaza because my nail person is over there. So I have no objection, and I think it's about time that they have that they're able to be recognized. And you don't even, the plaza is set back so far. If you drive down the 143rd, sometimes you just miss it. So I think that they should have a sign.
Thank you. Trustee Muller?
Looking at the proposed drawings and the location, it's not going to obstruct anyone's view, pulling out or in or out of the driveways or 243rd Street. So I have no objections.
Trustee Scheller?
I have
have nothing further to add.
Trustee Olshauser?
I concur with the planning commission's recommendation.
Trustee Mason?
I remember when this was a COVID vaccine station. Yeah, and I think I was actually with you doing an open house when we noticed and you noticed the ADA spots. The parking was a little tight. You've gotten them to agree to the handicap parking stalls. We're trying to promote business, so I'm all for it.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call roll.
Trustee Lepore?
Same.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Scheller?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders? Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Trustee Holdhoffen?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 5, consider for approval an ordinance granting a special use permit for a large group home for certain real property located in the A1 Agricultural Zoning District at 17535 South Parker, Homer Glen, Illinois, HD 2426SP. Is there a motion? Trustee Reinders. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Scheller. Trustee Reinders, actually, would you mind if I turn it over to staff member Ruben for a little bit of explanation?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. So this is a request for a special use permit for a large group home, 7 to 12 people, in the A1 Agricultural Zone District. It's permitted with a special use permit. As you can see in the packet, it's got a long, lengthy history, spanning back to last summer. Right now, I believe that there is a small group home for 1 to 6 residents. There's been some code violations. Some have since been fixed. Some are outstanding or debatable. About the egress windows in the basement and things like that. But, so the 2 planning commission public hearings, and the planning commission did recommend unanimous denial, 6-0 for the special use permit, mostly contingent upon that there was no state license from the Illinois Department of Public Health, and it does not comply with the Will County Health Division with the septic system. The septic system is rated for 4 bedrooms. The applicant is requesting up to 12 residents. So that seems like it would not be functioning for that. So, but the planning commission recommended denial. They also referred to the standards or findings of fact in the report as well. I believe that 6 of the 10 were not met, and so recommended denial. But there's a lot to look at here. I can answer any questions.
Thank you. And I know we have some new trustees here, so when planning commission denies something, there is a supermajority vote to override their denial, just for a little lesson there. Okay, so we had trustee Reinders make the motion first.
Can
Yep.
I start to read?
Sure.
Do you know how long they've been in the home healthcare business?
In this location?
No, in addition to this location, have they ever been in the home healthcare business before?
My understanding is yes, but the records are a little bit mysterious, for lack of a better word. They might have been in Lamont before, but I'm not sure if they were permitted to operate. So I don't know, but the applicant is here tonight.
So they've always operated out of a more of a personal setting versus a business setting?
Since it was outside of the village, I'm not sure that I can answer that, but I believe it was, within a home, I think.
So are the director of this program, are they licensed? Are they physicians? Are they NPs? What experience do they have in home health care?
Oh, the people that are running it, the people that work on site, or both?
Yes.
I'm going to pause you right there. I know the petitioner is here. I just want to ask one last time. I know you said no, you do not want to speak, but did you want to step up to the podium and answer questions? I think the question you're asking would be better directed towards the petitioner.
Just 20 years in Lamont, I was this Roma home care.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Wanda Thomas.
Thank you.
And for 20 years, you were running a home in Lamont?
Yes.
Okay, was it licensed by the state?
Yes.
And are you a physician?
I'm not a physician, I'm just a from Lithuania physician.
Pardon me?
From Lithuania physician. I came,
Okay.
but I'm studying here too. I'm hiring doctors.
Okay, are you able to dispense medications?
Yes.
You are. Do you have a license that you provided to the plan commission?
Yes.
Okay.
This is 13740 South Archer Avenue. 20 years I wasn't here. It was Bill County Incorporated. I have building house myself.
Mr. Gruba, was a license provided?
There was a license that was provided from the Illinois Department of Public Health. When I contacted the Illinois Department of Public Health on July 25th, they said they did not have a record of that license and they would be looking into that.
So the planning commission did not receive a license?
Yes, I got license, I finished my license, and I got all the documents.
That's the discrepancy, is that a license was provided that appears to have those dates, but when I contacted the IDPH, they said they did not have that on record and that they would be looking into it.
So if you have a license in Lamont,
Why was 20 years I got
okay,
license?
so why did you not apply for a license?
I'm applying, everything I got it. I don't know what is going to come, I don't know. And public health came, in April, because my license finished in February 28th. And public health, I got everything.
Okay.
Thank you. Trustee Schaller?
Thank you, Mayor.
Is your microphone on? Your microphone?
It's on.
Oh, it is. I can barely hear you.
Planning Director Gruba, is there a business license in the village for this?
There is there is a business license that was for I think it was for a daycare that was issued in August of 2024.
And this is not considered a daycare or what, in the sense of being now a group home or assisted living, let's say?
Right, I believe that the daycare is just during the day, and that the group home would be 24 hours a day. I'm not exactly sure, since I wasn't here, how that was issued or how it would happen. I'm not sure what information was provided to the former director. I think it might have actually been between directors when Melissa King was not here.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Holzhauser?
I think they have to go with the planning commission's recommendation. I mean, they voted 6-0. I don't really have much more to add.
Okay, Trustee Lepore?
Yeah, I completely concur with Trustee Holhauser and the rest of the board here. It seems like this is not a good fit the way it's set up right now. Hopefully the applicant can make some adjustments and come back, but it seems like not started.
Trustee Mason?
The request is for a 7 to 12 resident permit for the house. It sounds more like a senior living center to me. And as I read through this, and I read through all of them, there's, I don't know how many, I didn't count them, but I'm guessing 30 or so different timeline of things that transpired. As Trustee Gruber, or Director Gruber states, 6 out of 10 of the issues were resolved. Some were not. As Trustee Reiners brought up, the septic system, I believe that was you. The septic system is only set for 4 people. As I read through the fire district report, the egress windows is a huge issue for me. I'm on public safety, and I'd be beside myself if something happened there, and people were trapped.
Thank you. Trustee Muller?
It seems like there's a lot of deficiencies that have been brought up. I know there's a note in here that it will only be the elderly. Is that something that can be dictated, or is it more, does it become open to other residents?
I'm going to turn that question over to the attorney.
Yeah, so the fact that it may or may not be elderly has no relevance in the determination by this board. Due to fair housing issues and also the Illinois Human Rights Act, those particular issues as to age has no bearing and should not be considered by this board in making this determination.
No, it was a question because I know it was dictated in here that it was only elderly.
No, I understand that. I just, when I was president of the Planning Commission, I spoke a little bit about that as well. And I'm just, because it's been brought up as a matter of law and as the village attorney, I'm just advising once again. Okay.
No, I have nothing further. It just seems that there's too many discrepancies.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Reinders? No. Trustee Schaller?
No.
Trustee Mason?
No.
Trustee Lepore?
No.
Trustee Holhauser?
Nay.
Trustee Muller?
No.
Okay, Okay, so the motion did not carry. Ma'am, did you hear me? Ma'am, just so you know, the motion did not carry, which means it does not pass. If there's some changes that need to be made, or if you want to go back before planning commission, you'd have to come back with some significant changes. Okay? Thank you. All right, number 7, consider for approval. Nope, I'm sorry. Number 6. Is there a motion to approve an ordinance implementing both the municipal grocery retailer's occupation tax and the municipal grocery service occupation tax in accordance with the section 81124 of the Illinois Municipal Code? Is there a motion? Trustee Reinders?
I'll second.
Trustee Laporte? Trustee Reinders?
Well, Mayor, I did some research on this, and back in 1990, the government, the state of Illinois, implemented this grocery tax. And one of the reasons that they implemented this grocery tax was to prevent individual municipalities from incorporating the tax. So now, fast forward to today, and the governor wants to clean up and make it look like he's doing less taxes in the state of Illinois, but basically all he's doing is just changing the payment path, that's it. No groceries will be increased, and it's unfair to say that because we are in the black, that we should lose $800,000 worth of revenue.
875.
Yeah, $875,000 worth of revenue. So this isn't going to affect anybody. Everything's going to remain the same. The only difference is that it will be the municipality which was prevented back in 1990 from ever doing so if they felt like it. So basically, all we're doing is just changing the payment path. That's it.
Thank you, Trustee Laporte.
Yeah, this is, needs to be understood, this is not a new tax. This is just a new method of collecting the same taxes we pay. It's a large amount that is there's a stake here, $870,585 in annual revenue. This is something that's all across the board. All our neighboring towns are doing something exactly the same way. Vieto, Morris, Shorewood, Plainfield, and with which there's more to come too, because this has to be done very soon, otherwise you'll lose out on this opportunity. But you should call it a new tax, it's just either you have done the research or speak dishonest. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Mason.
Yes, I think you both make very good points. This has to go, we have to notify the state by October. If we don't notify the state by October, from January, we don't get this. We lose the $875,000. That $875,000 goes towards infrastructure, other things that, the amenities that Homer Glen residents have come to enjoy. If we currently don't have a park district, and it's hard to fund that. It's hard to fund a whole bunch of things, and I'm sure we don't want our home taxes to go up. We're getting taxed, left and right. This is nothing new, and it's dishonest to say that it's a new tax. This is something that the state did forever. Now they put it back on the villages and the towns and the cities, and it's just they're still going to collect it. But if we don't declare that we are, in favor of this, then that revenue is lost. We don't get it. The state's still going to get whatever they get in taxation, but we lose out on the 2.5% that they send back, and we only get 1% of that, is what that is. Also, for transparency, this was on in ANF, as Trustee Reiner states. We beat this stuff to death for hours. I can find other things to do for 2-3 hours on a Tuesday or Wednesday, but I come to ANF and I sit down and I listen, and I have Director Sawyers tell us financially for the things that I don't understand and explain them to me in layman terms. It's important for the town and the village to continue to operate the way that we do, whether that be through our infrastructure or public works. But Trustee Laporte brought this up, and we voted to take this off. We didn't have to bring this into legislative action on this. We could have left this on a consent agenda and went right through this. Well, we wanted the residents of Homer Glen to know, hey, we're not doing anything different The only thing we're doing is ensuring our future without being able to tax you in some other form. This is nothing that has changed. It's exactly the same. Anybody stating anything different is ill-informed or purposely misleading you. I guess that's all I really have to state on that. I think it's important and I think it's needed.
Thank you. Trustee Muller?
Trustee Mason hit all the key points. With full transparency, we discussed it in detail during the A&F and all agreed that we need to bring this out there to just quash any rumors and any other implementing new taxes. So again, it's not a new tax. We wanted everyone, like Trustee Mason said, we wanted everybody to know that it's not just, oh yeah, we're passing tax. It's not a new tax.
Thank you. Trustee Shaler?
Thank you, Mayor. I too did some research and digging on this, and as the residents were stating, you know, I agree, we don't want any extra taxes. But I think what's being lost here is what's happening down in Springfield to our municipalities. We must adopt a 1% local grocery tax to replace this $875,000. Especially given the ongoing reductions in the local government distributive fund, the LGDF. Those of you that know about this and residents, I believe it was in 2011, which was started, that was at 10%. It has been cut to 6.47% coming back to the municipality. Over that time frame, I did some number running, and we're looking into the millions of dollars of lost revenue. I'm not talking about $8 million. I'm talking between $15 and $25 million that's not there. With that, we are heavily, I would have to say more than heavily, we are sales tax driven. Our home rule sales tax fund generates $3.8 million in fiscal year 2024, and our property tax is at 1.5. So that rate is extremely low if you look at other municipalities when it comes to property taxes. So I think we're running as lean and mean as we possibly can. We can't afford to allow the state to forego $875,000 in tax. That's already there, it's already baked into the cake, and we're just not going to let it go away. We need it here at the village to provide the level of service and what's expected of our residents to continue. So that's where I'm at.
Thank you. Trustee Holzhauser?
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I believe it's important to maintain all of our revenue streams for the success of the entire village community, and I agree with what all of the trustees have said. It's not a new tax, and I think we have to protect our revenue. That's all I have to say about it.
Thank you. Mr. Sawyers, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I have a brief statement on sales tax. The 1% sales tax on grocery funds, most of the village operations, police, public works, EMA, all operations except for park facilities and park improvements. Sales tax is a pass-through tax. That means many non-residents buy their goods here and pay the tax when it comes to the village. And we have been funding operations with sales tax since the beginning of the corporation. It's significantly important to the village and to all villages. So consequently, it's a very effective way to fund operations. It's not a new tax, it's a replacement tax. Grocery costs will not go up due to this change. So it is the lifeline of villages, in particular this one, which is very sales tax heavily reliant on.
Okay. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Reinders? Aye. Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Shaler?
Aye.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Trustee Holzhauser?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 7, consider for approval an ordinance amending Chapter 83-74D of the Village Code to permit limited entertainment upon or within a premises licensed to sell alcohol, subject to the village review, approval, and issuance of a special event permit. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Reiner and trustee Mason. Trustee Reiner.
Well, I think everybody's under the misconception that we are targeting Bengtsons for a special use permit, and that's not the case. I had a conversation with Scott Bengtson myself the other day, and this is going to prevent businesses, any business within the home, within all Homer Glen. If you want to have a band, just to say,
Can you in the back of the room hear her? Because I feel like, okay, I feel I can barely hear her and she's sitting right next to me, so.
I'm sitting next to the microphone, I don't know why.
I don't think yours is much better. Mine must be off or something.
Anyway,
As a restaurant and as a business owner, you can't just do whatever you want within the village limits. There are, like the mayor said, there are requirements that and rules that we have to follow. And I think that there's some people within the village that think that we are targeting Bengtsons, and we are not. This is not about Bengtsons. This is about the gambling places. This is about the bars. This is about restaurants. Anybody that feels that they can bring a band in, or they can serve alcohol in their parking lot, or they can have cigars out in their parking lot without a special use permit. This is going to bring in line everything that the village stands for. We want to make sure that these events are monitored, that our police force knows about them, that our staff knows about them, that in the event that something happens, that we're aware of this. And so, to think that we are unfairly targeting Bengtsons is not true. It's Conehouse, they have to abide by it. We as a park, when any event is held in the park, it has to be abided by. The same with our Homer Fest. So all this is saying is that to let us know, let us be aware of what is going on, so that in the event something does happen, or our police force knows, our fire department knows, everybody knows. So that's why I'm in favor of it.
Thank you. Trustee Mason is next.
I think Trustee Reiner is very articulate. This basically expands on special use permits. It's gives us the ability to monitor. I don't believe this was targeted towards Bengtsons. I think when you do something outside the norm, we do have to have the ability to be able to monitor that and make sure that it falls within the ordinances of the village. Great.
Trustee Muller.
I have a quick question. Is this something simple also as like if you want to have a permit for a block party?
Same thing.
Exactly. That's what I thought. It's just, it's a little bit of control, letting the fire department know, letting the sheriff know. If something does get out of hand, they're not walking in blind going, well, what's going on over there, so.
You're asking, I'm sorry, for clarification, you're asking if applying for a permit is like applying for a block party permit.
This special use permit, it's just a glorified like if you were to have a block party. You let the authorities know.
No, it's not the same. I thought you meant the application process. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay, Trustee Schaller. And I think your microphone might be a little dim as well, so I'm sorry.
Is that better?
Is that better out there?
Yes.
Yes?
Okay. I've worked at a village for over 28 years. Special use permits are the norm, especially for businesses looking to do anything outside of their PUD. There's no issue with that. I believe it's good business for the village to continue.
Thank you. Trustee Holzhauser?
I agree. I think it's a safety concern, and I don't have anything really else to add to it.
Okay, Trustee LaFleur?
Thank you. I'm not a fan of government interfering with business at any level. I'm just pro-business to see what's going to be out here. Over-regulation is a concern. I don't feel that there's a lot that the government needs to do to regulate business any further. At times, it feels like you can feel the heavy weight of the government on your shoulder, and it should be the village's position to make business and government kind of coincide together on a better level. I'm not a fan of more regulation at any level when it comes to businesses, and I can't support this.
Okay, so just to back up what trustee Lepore said, this motion is to make it less restrictive, just so everybody's clear. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Reinders? Aye. Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Schaller?
Aye.
Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Trustee Lepore?
No.
Trustee Holzhauer?
Motion carries. Number 8, consider for approval a motion to authorize the village president and village manager to execute a franchise agreement with Delta Communications LLC, doing business as Clear Wave Fiber, subject to the review and approval of the village attorney. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Mason?
I'll second.
Trustee Muller? Trustee Mason, go ahead.
We've been talking about it, we're putting these together now. We should have the licenses agreements in place regardless of whether it's communications or whether it's electric or whether it's, I don't care who it is, BB, ComEd, it doesn't matter to me. I think we need to add these in line so that the bigness or the big suppliers of electrical or whatever the case may be, can't just do whatever they want on our village property.
Okay, Trustee Muller?
Exactly what Trustee Mason said, we're not going to pick and choose what types of corporations or services. We have franchise licenses. It's a blanket if you're going to provide some type of service, you have to have the franchise.
Trustee Schaller?
I have nothing to add.
Trustee Holzhauer?
I have no objections to anything.
Trustee Lepore?
I have no issues.
Trustee Reinders?
I have no objections. I think this is what got us in trouble in the first place with Illinois American Water, that we do not have a franchise agreement with.
Do you have any comments?
No, I just wanted to walk the trustees briefly through the master agreement. So the first several pages that you see, it's just a template. Mr. Westcott was working with the fiber provider to have a good base for us to take a look at the terms of a potential agreement, and then we modify it. So if you look through your packet there, you're going to see like the first 7 pages are pretty much blank, there's no red lines, and you'll see towards the latter part, you'll see the red line agreement, which has some modifications or revisions that were made by me per my recommendations, basically to tailor that template agreement more narrowly tailored to the needs of our village. A couple of things that we put in there. Typically, franchise agreements would allow blanket authority for a utility company to utilize all the public ways. I didn't think that to be appropriate. What we did say, how we wrote this agreement to be, is that the utility company would submit an application, would follow the permit process through engineering, community development, what have you, show an actual map as to where they intended on putting these utilities in. Once it passed all those approvals, then it would go before this board. This board would have the final say, and people would be both aware of, and have the final say as to whether or not to grant a specific permit for them to place their telecommunication facilities within the village right-of-ways. So those are pretty much the major changes that we put through consultation with others. I thought were necessary to narrowly tailor to the village based upon all the needs that I heard from this board. So all those changes and revisions have been put in here. Our standard indemnification language has been incorporated in here. In addition to some insurance requirements, there was a confidentiality provision. I'm not, being a public body here, we needed to make it clear that certain confidential information that they designate as confidential, still may be subject to FOIA and some other things to be produced via subpoena, and also to allow you as the board to consider materials that the utility company may designate as confidential and not have fear that you're violating the agreement. So those sorts of exceptions were noted in the red lines that we wrote. And I don't believe that, I know that the utility company has yet to review my red lines. So what the next step is going to be is that the actual red line agreement will go before them, and I'll go back and forth with them on any sort of changes through Mr. Westcott's office. And if we believe that there's substantial changes that are there, I'll bring it back before the board. If these are just some minor changes that are there, if you look at the motion, it says subject to the review and approval of the village attorney. And I do that through both the mayor pro tem in her absence, or the village manager. So that's how the process would work.
I see the petitioner standing there. Do you have anything to add?
No, thank you so much for having us. My name is Jason Carnes with Clearway. We are very excited about Homer Glen and being part of this vibrant community. So happy to answer any questions.
Sure. I don't think they have any. I think you're going to call roll.
You haven't seen my changes yet.
Let me clarify that I had not seen them before. I got to ask about this.
Madam Clerk, please call roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Trustee Scheller.
Aye.
Trustee Holhauser.
Aye.
Trustee LaFour.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders. Aye.
All right, motion carries. We're going to move on to old business. Does anybody have anything for old business?
I do.
Trustee Mason?
Madam Mayor, thank
Can you speak in your microphone? Get real close.
Oh, sorry. I do. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to thank Lieutenant DiPiazza. I forgot to do this earlier. He has put together a pretty comprehensive plan to initiate and place the cameras and gave us maps and showed us the layout. And it's been excellent as far as explaining how garbage in, garbage out, basically, and is volunteered to get the Will County Sheriff's Department out here to explain to this entire board any questions, concerns that we may have. Although we do have a couple of police officers on the board, so I'm sure you gentlemen know a lot more than I do. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything for old business? New business? Yeah, or attorney?
Yeah, briefly, so again, while I was away in Europe with my family, I apologize. This was set on the agenda. What the intention was for all of us just to consider for the future potentially amending certain provisions of our administrative code to set some concrete rules and regulations for how administrative hearings are conducted. Currently, our village code pretty much mirrors the Illinois Municipal Code, just pretty much setting forth the broad strokes, for lack of a better word, on how procedurally and substantively those administrative hearings are to take place. One thing that I've added in your packets for you to take home and just take a look at, probably until the next time we all get together, it's just a copy of the City of Chicago Administrative Hearing Procedural Rules. These rules have been around for quite some time. This particular one was last updated July of 2022. And these are rules that many practitioners, including myself, have regularly practiced with. These are rules that seem to balance the relative interests and needs of the parties, both the petitioners and the respondents. And these are rules that I would consider giving to all of you just for purposes of consideration, potentially adopting these or similar rules to these to be supplemented the rules that are currently governing our administrative proceedings. So just for your food for thought, for your consideration, these are items that we're submitting for you and recommend that you take a good look at.
Okay. Anybody else have anything for new business? That's it? All right. Workshops next, since we don't have one. Is there a motion to go into executive session for a purpose of discussing personnel?
I'll make that motion.
Wait, I gotta read it. Pending litigation, and I know executive session minutes is on here, but we're not going to discuss that. And utilities. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Trustee LaFour, Trustee Mason, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're gonna take a 5-minute recess.
Thank you.